So, your 4th of July weekend is wrapping up, but next year we'll be celebrating in an even bigger way, as it will be America's 250th birthday. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum gave me a special tour of one of the most patriotic sites in the world, let alone the nation. I'm talking Statue of Liberty. It's all part of his work description he's got to take care of. Watch.
Standing with her beacon light at the entrance of the harbor of New York, the Statue of Liberty, presented by the French Republic to the United States.
About 4 million people come every single year. I'm talking about a visit to the Statue of Liberty. How about a tour before the tourists with the Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum? The last time I saw you, you were getting me on a horse. Where are we going now?
No horses today,
No horses
Brian.
today?
But we got a sweet ride here, the U.S. Park Police. Let's go.
You brought us to Liberty Island. You've been here before.
Yes.
So, but it still never gets old.
It doesn't, and of course, never been all the way to the top. Which,
You've never been to the top.
We may get there, but look at this. You come here, at the scale, the size, the beauty of this, it's a little overwhelming.
Whose idea was this?
Auguste Bartholdi, a French guy, really wanted to build a giant statue, and his friend, Edouard de la Boulaye, has the idea that we should give this gift to the United States of America.
We're coming up on a 100-year birthday, and they thought it would be a nice thing to do after the Civil War.
We give them a birthday gift.
Why not? There's so many things that have changed. Like, for example, the torch. The torch that we see out there is not the original torch. That's behind you.
Original torch is
What's the story?
had to come down because there was too much water damage. So we decided when we restored her in the 1980s, make it copper again, but put gold leaf around it so it brightens up in the day and we can shine lights on it at night.
As we head into USA 250, each one of our national parks has this opportunity to teach history to Americans, to understand our roots, our freedoms, our liberties, and what a better place to do it here.
It's amazing. It's iconic, but it also brings challenges.
It's a symbol around the world of liberty, but it's also a target.
1916, there was an explosion that occurred on Black Tom Island. German spies blew up the island. Shrapnel from that explosion hit the monument. And again, in 1980, we have an open case file right now where an explosion was set off inside the Statue of Liberty's museum at the time. That's why we have such heightened levels of security for this monument. The United States Park Police are the primary law enforcement out here.
Do we have your permission to go inside?
Yes, you do.
Interesting story. They're done with the statue. It's in the 1870s, but our deal was to build a pedestal. What happened?
In the Centennial Exhibition in 1876, the 100th birthday of our country, they didn't have the pedestal done, but they had the arm and the torch. So they just brought the arm and the torch to the exposition, and people could pay 50 cents to climb up a stairway to go inside the torch.
And from 1886 on, they were seeing this as they came through the harbor. But we have an appointment up top, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's do it. That was an interesting climb. What do you think?
I think it was a crowning achievement,
Yes.
actually. We're actually in the crown.
Wow.
Up inside the head of the Lady Liberty right here, literally.
So out here on a clear day, which today isn't, you could see Manhattan. And you could see the harbor. This is where people stop their tour right now.
Yes.
Right?
I think we ought to try to get to the top of the torch.
Well, there's only one person outside the president could make that happen. It is the Interior Secretary, and you are?
Secretary of Interior. This is the secret back way to the arm.
I don't know how tourists would ever do this, even if it was opened up.
Well, Brian, from here on, as you can see, it's straight up this ladder.
Straight up. It's going to be worth it.
Brian, we're up here in the torch. Not everyone may understand that this is literally at the top of the arm of Lady Liberty.
Yep.
But I think the way that you've got to prove to your audience that you actually climbed to the top
Yes,
of the
how do we do that?
is I think we get a shot right now looking down at the top of the crown and the rays of light coming off of Lady Liberty. And there she is.
This is absolutely amazing. What are your thoughts being here? You've never been to the torch before.
I haven't, and I tell you, you look good in the reflection, Brian, of this 24-karat gold torch that shows the burning flame of liberty. Fantastic to be up here with you, and great way to kick off the celebration for the USA 250.
So can I throw your name around and take the elevator? Do we really have to take the stairs?
Well, we have to take the stairs. We got to climb down a ladder all the way to the arm just to get back to the crown.
It was worth the trip. I hope I survive. So after Doug took me in and out of the Statue of Liberty, I was able to talk to him about other things that was on his mind, as well as things he has to do under President Trump. So he gave me some quality minutes. I want to share them with you exclusively. You knew the president well before you got the job and before he won. What are you finding out as being one of his cabinet members about the pace and his approach to the position?
I'd like to start with Doug Burgum, Secretary of the Interior.
I think you know I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. There's very few times.
You were a tech guy for a while.
I was, but I was always working for myself, you know, as chairman, CEO. I mean, so this is one of the few times I've had a boss, but you couldn't ask for a better leader than President Trump.
You and Secretary Wright are in charge of energy. So right now, when it comes to the gas prices are down to 2021 levels as we have this holiday season.
Pretty good news for millions of drivers expecting to hit the road for the 4th of July weekend. Gas prices, they're pretty low.
Yeah, John, they're pretty low and they're trending lower.
Does that have anything to do with your approach to this?
Because of the strategy of making sure that we've got enough energy for ourselves and to sell to our allies, that's an inflation buster as opposed to inflation creator. President Trump created the National Energy Dominance Council, asked Chris Wright and I to lead it because he understood it takes a whole of government approach across Commerce, Treasury, EPA, agriculture, Interior, energy, all of us working together to make sure that we can have energy to sell to our friends and allies and have enough for prosperity at home and peace abroad. That's what we're doing.
The president will call you and say, what about that pipeline in Alaska? What's going on with this governor? The detail that you explained to me is mind-boggling, especially considering...
He's not calling between 9 and 5. I've gotten those phone calls at 9:45 on a Saturday night after he's been in Saudi Arabia for weeks saying, oh, are we coming on those pipelines? Right. I mean, this guy works 7 days a week, nonstop. He understands the details, and it's fantastic what he does and how much he cares about the American people. And he understands that right now, but with this AI arms race that we're against China, it's not just about price at the pump. We've got to have enough electricity to drive, you know, all the reshoring, all the manufacturing that's coming back. We've never had an economic developer like President Trump.
I understand you're doing nukes.
It's a hot industry. It's a brilliant industry.
Nuclear energy for the first time.
Geothermal, I mean, everything. President Trump signed 4 executive orders around nuclear, and he broke open that market. There's been $1 billion of private capital going into nuclear energy startups in the 4 weeks since he signed those EOs. He's just changing markets and changing trajectory with his vision.
When it comes to trade, we are seeing rare earth being held back by China. America does not have, we have rare earth, but we don't mine rare earth. What have you done? That's your responsibility. That's a national security situation.
A day doesn't go by when Secretary Wright, myself, and others are not meeting with folks that have got plans to develop and process rare earth minerals.
Is it going to take time?
We're on a fast track. This has to be like a Manhattan Project. We can't be dependent on adversaries for things that are essential.
But the problem is you have Democratic governors who don't want to mine in their states.
Well, we've effectively killed mining in this country. I think we graduate over 36,000 lawyers every year, and about 300 kids come out of schools of mining. We've got to get back in the game.
Pipeline in Alaska, pipeline in New York, right? You think you got a deal to get a pipeline through New York?
Absolutely. It's moving down the track. There needs to be more gas to run the electrical plants that are here, to provide the power to run New York City and to run New England. The highest electric prices in the country are spread across New England, with the exception of Hawaii, because we don't have enough fuel here to power the electricity needed to run this region.
We'll see if he can hold up for 4 years. He's got the energy. We'll see. You certainly have the president. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.